Live.
Hello, we're live. Hopefully, touch it. Hopefully, you can check to see if. Can you bring it up on here?
Yeah.
How we doing, gang? We're just live on this month. What month are we in? January. Yeah, of course we are. Brand new year. And this is the James Sinclair live Q&A show where you get to ask me questions and I answer them live. Here to help grow your business. We're developing the studio as well, gang. It's just going to look fantastic. We're going to have
Look at that.
screens all around us. I'm just going to turn my volume down. Oh, you've done that already. Um,
Look at
yeah, we're gonna have screens all around us. Basically, the way this works, guys, is
oh,
um, basically, you ask me questions. I have my laptop down here. I can then read the questions and then I answer them. As long as it's to do with growing your business, there's no marriage counselling. We don't do stuff like that here. So if you've got any questions you'd like to ask me, then please do, and we can get on to it. Hopefully, some of you have bought my latest book, Getting Customers. This book is easier, faster, and for less money than you ever thought possible, because that's really the essence of building a great business is having a business where um, there's two things that you need to do as business owners. Number one is get customers. Number two is keep customers. And I tend to find that business owners are usually good at either one, and the ones that are outstanding is the ones that do both really well. So you either get people that are really good at keeping customers or really good at getting customers. Well, this business is all about getting customers. This big book called The Experience Business is all about keeping customers. So the two work hand in hand. You can get them on Amazon right now. Okay, Raising Wildlings, mate, you guys are always commenting on our YouTube channel. Big thumbs up for that. Thank you very much. What is your reaction to Mike Winnett's review of yourself? Mike Winnett, for you guys that don't know, is a guy that's built up a very fast growing YouTube channel from literally nowhere. He's got over 30,000 subscribers. He's been doing it a lot less than me, puts a lot of effort into the editing of his videos. I think that you would fair to say that, Chance.
obviously.
Obviously. Not that you don't put any effort into the editing of our videos, Chance.
Completely.
Completely different, but his is more comedic. Yeah, I think Mike likes us, and so I was happy with what he said about us. He said I was a bit of a Nigel Botterill knockoff at some points. I've never had any association or affiliation to his business, but yeah, I think he only briefly mentioned me for about 6 or 7 seconds. He said that I'm a bit too energetic on YouTube, but and sometimes I'm a bit quiet, but sometimes I am energetic. Sometimes I'm a bit quiet. It's just who I am. I am an entertainer at heart, and it's a big part of who I am. Even James, when you buy a commercial property, do you use a separate company or do they sit in your existing business? Cheers, Pete. I buy them in a separate limited company. It's called Sinclair Property Investments Limited, and then we've just set up a new limited company to hold our residential property. So we've just buying a block of flats in Altrincham and another block of flats in Bournemouth at the moment. They will sit outside of my personal name. So I have got quite a bit of property in my personal name that I've just built up over the years, and pulling it out. Um, the tax implications on the stamp duty and capital gains tax, we've got to investigate as a business. My accountants, my FD are looking at that as we speak. Um, Dan Bright says, have you any experience with Facebook ads? Thinking about attracting people selling property. Um, Facebook ads, yeah. I mean, we probably spend £100,000 a year as a group on Facebook ads for all of our businesses, day nurseries, the Marsh Farm. We even use Facebook ads spectacularly well for recruitment. It's a really cheap way of recruiting and attracting people that are not necessarily thinking about moving jobs. So I think Facebook ads are really good for recruitment. Um, so thinking about attracting people selling property, yeah, I mean, Dan, Facebook ads definitely work if you put in the effort. If my face looks a bit dark, I'm going to sort that out. We'll get some lights when Chuds comes back in the room. Jonathan Selfie, nice sweater colour. It's a nice little minty green number, one of my favourites. Thank you very much. Jonathan Wilson, how do you sell a business that's being built solely on a personal brand? Isn't the main asset the individual that is the personal brand and therefore indispensable? Well, Jonathan, what you need to be doing is making sure that you build the company brand and the personal brand in unison over a period of time. The company brand takes over, just like Richard Branson's done for Virgin. So, Virgin is more powerful now than Richard Branson, I would say, as a brand. However, Richard Branson's still got more followers and engagement on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn than the Virgin company page. So it still proves, in essence, that people prefer to transact with personal brands rather than company brands. And even power brands, like, someone like Chanel, like massive power brand will bring in someone like Keira Knightley to be the face of the brand. So even those big company brands are still using, we've got some more light in here now. Well done, Chance. Still using personal brand. No, that's all right, mate. Darren O'Toole, I'd love to know your reasoning behind still backing the older forms of marketing. Darren, I like modern marketing. I love digital stuff, but I also love old-fashioned stuff. I don't think anyone should just be doing the old-fashioned stuff. I'm saying less people are doing it now. I have had spectacular results by actually sending stuff through the post using direct mail. Far better returns on getting big customers than doing digital marketing. My answer is do both. Don't forget them. Do both, please. If I haven't answered that in depth enough, give me another question, because I think that's probably one of the best comments on there. I'm definitely not saying to give up on all the old marketing. Right, here we go. Oh God, I'll just get a. But Rajesh says, "Hi James, looking cool and sharp. Thank you, Rajesh." Guy Harris, would you be happy making 8% ROI on a property, but knowing you bought a better property, its value will go up and better tenants? Go on about. It all depends. I would be happy to buy an 8% return on investment if I knew I could add huge value in the future and get to a higher return on investment. My views on property buying is always income first, and capital growth second. But hey, I mean that if your goal is to have 8% return on investment, don't let me stop you. My goal is to get as close to 20% return on investment, because that's what I prefer. But who's me to tell you what you should do? Um, uh, da, da, da. Raising Wildlands, why should we pay for your book and events if you give the info for free on here? Or is there things you hold back and saying in your YouTube channel? Yeah, that's a great question, and I shall answer it. Because some people prefer to read than watch. Some people prefer to listen than watch than read. Um, and then why should people come to our events? Because if you come and spend a weekend with me intensely, I think you're going to get more than just spending 40 minutes or 20 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes on YouTube. And also, I don't really talk about huge wealth creation and the in-depth one-to-one discussions on business on YouTube, on Facebook. I talk about it much broader rather than I niche it down at my events. I mean, to give you an example, this is this is not. This is an empty folder, but this is my entrepreneurs masterclass. It's a full on. It's a full-on course, where people get to Q&A with me. It's in smaller groups, and there's some accountability and things happen. Now, I do believe that you should be listening to videos. I believe that you should go to seminars, whether they're mine or someone else's. I think direct human learning is great, as much as reading books, listening to books. So, yeah, I do think they are different at the seminars. But hey, let me be absolutely honest with you. I'm sure if you just spent hours and hours going through my YouTube channel, I think you would learn lots of stuff. And I think you could buy my books and learn lots of stuff and not bother to come to any of my seminars. Absolutely the case. But I think some people will benefit from coming to seminar style learning. So there we go. My entrepreneur's business questions following on. Lawyer 104, James, following some of your tips, I will be taking another step this week to making myself redundant from doing the legwork to become the marketeer. So many questions. I've lost that now. Can't wait to see the results. Good luck with that. Rajas has said, "How do I launch my first business workshop based around startup businesses and established businesses?" Rajas, you need to build a database and then communicate to that database to get people along. And then I would invite them for free. Now, Rajas, I think I remember you're an accountant, so hopefully that you're using this as a fee to build your accountancy-based business. Great idea. Vegan foot soldier. Hey, mate. Hey man, how cool is that? Where's the best place to find commercial property? Well, I use Zoopla, I use Rightmove. I've also bought stuff from the Times. In the back of the Times, there's some section every Sunday with stuff that's off market, and then go to commercial estate agents as well. So there we go. Bouncy Ben TV following two sellout Christmases after speaking to self, now turning over 300 families away from Christmases. Want to expand, but location where I live are also financed to do it. I don't. I think you're just telling me what's happened there. Congratulations. Um, I mean, the question I would say to you, Bouncy Ben TV, which is your YouTube name, rather than looking to double your turnover going elsewhere, you might be able to double your profits by increasing the prices of where you are now, enhancing the experience where you are now, rather than trying to find two locations to do it and then do two not very well. I'm just going to plant that one there for you. Hi, Jimbo. Is purchase lease option common when buying commercial properties? Hey, Tender, absolutely. Is it common? Yes, it is. All the time that happens. I mean, I'm absolutely, I've done lease options in the commercial world. I am far more happy for people to do lease options in the commercial world via the residential world. When you're doing stuff in the residential world, very tough, very very tough. Because I don't think it. I'm not keen on a commercial investor trying to do a lease option agreement with a residential non-commercial investor. I think if that stood up in court, I think questions would be asked. But when a commercial person and a commercial person are doing a lease option agreement, it's two professional investors that have done stuff like this before. I think that's a far better way to go. Hang on a sec. I'm just hello. Hi James. I've had a few people complain on LinkedIn when they make a new connection with someone. They don't like a sales pitch. Some complain about people advertising their business. What's correct? Yeah, I can't stand it when someone tries to sell me something on a LinkedIn private message. I think, stop it. You're trying to ask for sex on the first day. Drives me insane. What you need to do is make content, add value. You know, build an audience, and then they will come to you when they think of you. The answer is create great quality content rather than try and sell to people right from the off. Um, Guy Harris, 20% return on investment only seems possible on lower quality homes, which in return create much more problems and don't go in value up as much. Am I missing something? Guy, yes, I think as a rule of thumb, you are absolutely correct here. But what we're looking for, one deal a year, I make sure that I get those deals stacked up and I buy quite good stock. But I don't, properties like buses, businesses like buses, there's always another one coming along. Look for the gems. You don't have to, just because, I mean, how much time have you put into it? Seriously, how much time have you put into it? Have you really spent a lot of time looking for these deals, or are you just not coming across them? Can you find some off-market stuff? Can you market direct to lenders? Can you go outside of estate agents? I guarantee you will be able to find one a year, pretty much where you live if you put the effort in, or in your ideal investment areas. Craig says, "Hi James, would love to get your opinion on what you think the property market will do over the next year." God, there's loads of property questions coming on here. I, you know, I think property is still overpriced, and you should always look to try and negotiate a discount, even if you get a 10% price knockdown or hopefully a 20% price knockdown. If markets fall, you are protected. You've created your own cushion, and I think that is a very smart thing to do. Um, I do think that there is going to be a bounce in property now. Brexit's being done, it's getting sorted. We've got a majority in Parliament now. All of these things stack up in our favour. Bar a war or something like that happening, I don't really see that Iran thing, going too crazy for us. I think there's going to be an influx of millions and billions of pounds into the UK, pent up investment that was waiting to come in. So I'm really pleased to see that happen. Hi, James. I'd love to get you. Blah, blah, blah. My second question is as follows: Is it better to property sourcing and property deals packaging if you know have funds to invest into buy-to-let investment, vanilla buy-to-let investment? Hi, James. My second question is as follows: Is it better to property? Is it better property sourcing and property deal? Right. I think Raj is saying, should you become a property deal sourcer? I mean, I ain't never going to do that. It's unleveraged work. I like to do the work once and it worked forever. So I like to buy a property, rent it out, and we get the rent forever. I like to build a business, set it up, get the systems in place. I don't want to be doing one-off sales. It's like selling a car. You always got to find someone else to buy from you. So I'm not into deal sourcing and packaging up and selling it to other people. Now, for other people, that's fine. It's not for me. Um, Do you believe in Facebook reviews? Yeah, I think Facebook reviews are really important. Uh, Guy Harris said, thank you, bought four in 29. Happy with getting 8 to 13% return investment. We'll keep looking for a 15 or percent or above. Joint venture. I don't do joint ventures, so that's me out on that. Uh, Interest rates are touted to be dropped before the end of the month, and a drop in the pound. Is it the same? Is it the start of a proper downturn, or just a wobble before a takeoff as Brexit? I mean, so people are asking me here, what's my thoughts on a recession? Um, I don't know. Who really knows what's coming here? Other than, we sort of have recessions and downturns every 10 years. So, in effect, we are due one. Um, if there is a downturn, fantastic. We'll be able to negotiate better deals and better prices when you're buying and acquiring stuff. I'm always trying to negotiate a discount on properties anyway. So, I don't feel, you know, the deals that we're doing right now, we've already negotiated a discount on the purchase price compared to the market value. So we've already created that cushion around us. I'll be doing that in the good times, the bad times, or any times. So yeah, that's my view on that. The question is, what do you think about Google AdWords? I don't know enough about Google AdWords to give you my honest opinion. However, I've wrote a few books on Google AdWords, checkbooks. Little joke from me there. I literally have spent hundreds of thousands of pounds on Google AdWords when we ran our online party shop. What I have learned about Google AdWords and what I learned from that experience, which I'll share with you now, Google AdWords works spectacularly well when you have huge margin in your product. The problem we were facing, we were spending about £7 to get a customer on an average order of £35. When we took into account the margin, the postage, the packaging, holding the stock, the warehouse, it was costing us £7 to get a sale of 30-ish quid. And you took off the VAT and all of that. We were losing about £1.50 on every order. Now, if you've got a good average lifetime value, like people will repeat, so you lose money on the first 2 or 3 orders, but then they know where to go to, that's a different situation. For me, we were selling party stuff. They only needed us once a year, once every 2 years. Um, we built a database from it, but it was just tough work. Now, if you could spend £7 to get a customer and they have good lifetime value, good average transactional value, i.e., they repeat order from you, lots, that's very, very different. Um, so hopefully that. So if you're going to do Google AdWords, make sure you got margin. Make sure you've got customers that will carry on repeat buying from you. Make sure you have good average lifetime value because it can get very expensive. And always get it reviewed by 2 or 3 companies every year. So there we go. What is your hottest business to be involved in at the moment, and your opinion? Well, the business that I would always choose and that I love is day nurseries because it has good average lifetime value. So customers stay around with you 4 years. They transact with you very regularly, 3, 4, even 5 times a week. Um, and the customer value is high, up to £1,500 a month. So I love day nurseries, but 70% of day nurseries don't make money. But for us, it's a bolt on to our business. I think any business where transactional value and lifetime value is high, that is the businesses that are great. So always look for that high average customer value, great average transactional value, and great average lifetime value. If you can get those 3 things, then that is a sign of great business. Most businesses have 1 or 2 of those elements, not all 3. So whenever you find a business that has great average lifetime value, good transactional value, good customer value per transaction, then you've got a great business. Um, Hi James, have you come up with a new business idea yet to for the recent property purchase? Stephen, we're discussing. So this is our second challenge that we're going to do on YouTube to build a business that makes £84,000 profit per year. We're working on that right now. We've got a number of options right now. Um, I don't want to reveal them right now because we're choosing the one that's stuff. One of them is to go to China, create a product and sell it. Another one's to set up a restaurant business, and another one is to set up another leisure business. And we're just going to go which three, and we'll probably put it as a poll. I'm going to do all three anyway. Yeah, so there's some of the ideas, but we need to fit it in, especially if we're going to take everyone to China. It's going to be very expensive to. We'll be filming everything, making stuff in factories, and showing how we then go and sell that online. And I want to do it as a retail business as well. So there we go. Biggest financial blunder I've ever made: setting up a stretch limousine company and my party shop business. Just tough, absolutely tough. Those businesses, the problem with those businesses: average customer value low, transactional value low, lifetime value low. You think about a stretch limousine business. You're having a 50th birthday party. No one hires a stretch limo. There is a few chauffeur companies in London, but in Essex, most of the market was parties and one-off sales. Customer value is like 300-400 quid. There was loads of competition for it, and they transacted, and the lifetime value was low. So any businesses like that where you have those three things low, terrible. It's what people like property, isn't it? What's the transactional value of your tenant? Yeah, they pay rent every single month. Brilliant. Customer value high. Lifetime value high. That's why people like investing in those things. You import from China. We import from Pakistan for leather goods. Are you seeing a shift away from the Far East? Hey, that's a great question. We are. China's becoming really expensive, and I am knowing companies that are starting manufacturing back in the UK because when they China wages have massively increased, so people are starting to bring things home. Also, the cost of shipping is expensive, so people are starting to bring things home. We're looking at Eastern Europe because when we make stuff in China, we make it in China, and then it can be in the water for 6 weeks, and then it could get held up in customs for regular inspections for 2 weeks. So if we could, chop off 2 months, that could be really interesting for us, and save on the shipping costs. Problem is China is still the most organized country that we've looked at. We've looked at other countries. We make some stuff in India as well, make a lot of our uniforms in India. That's good, but India's got more expensive as well. So yeah, we're always on the hunt, because the market, when we're wholesaling in that business, will only pay so much. um, I'm wondering what you use to record your YouTube videos, cutting from one clip to another. Chance, what do we use? Premiere Pro?
Yeah.
There we go. We use, what is that? What it's called? Premiere Pro.
Adobe Premiere Pro. Yeah.
It's called Adobe Premiere Pro. Same people that make Photoshop, isn't it?
Yep.
There they are. How much does it cost a month for all their suite of stuff?
Loads of different packages for everything. 50 quid a month.
50 quid a month is what the software costs. But does that include Photoshop?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah. So everything that Adobe makes.
But if you're on, and they do loads of deals for business
Yeah.
and student and whatever.
So you need to just check on Adobe's website, I suppose,
Yeah.
and they will sign you up. I mean, you think about Chuds. Adobe, that's why that's a great business for Chuds. Transactional value every month, he's going to pay 50 quid. Lifetime value, I mean, someone really special has got to come out to compete with Adobe.
No chance.
No chance. So lifetime value is probably going to be paying them £50 a month for all of his working life.
5 years guaranteed.
Next 5 years. So he's got them as 5. He's already been a customer of theirs, and he transacts with them every day. That's a great business. There we go. I mean, the more I think about it, they're the three just fundamentals of a business. Raising wildlings, restaurant business is tough. What is your background knowledge of the sector? Well, we have 11 commercial kitchens right now at Marsh Farm, where I'm sitting making this. We sell, close to £1 million worth of food a year to all of our visitors. And so, yeah, I think we'll do that quite well. But we want to do something very different. Well, the ideas that we want to do is set up an alpaca cafe. So you'll be in the restaurant, but alpacas will be walking around you. So we want to do something that we can really shout about on social to get customers instantly. So that's my idea for that one. If you were starting from scratch, no business in the background and so on, what type of business would you set up if you was moving from a full-time job? I mean, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I would find a business that has good average transactional value, good lifetime value, and good customer value and margin, because margin is your superpower. I would be choosing a business that I mentioned in page 3 of the experience business that would have these qualities as well. I can't tell the exact business, but I can tell you the traits of that business that it would have. It would be, is the business scalable? If the business is not scalable, then no one wants to buy it in the future, because even if you don't want to scale it, the next buyer of your business wants to take it to the next level. Is the business capital intensive? I'm fed up of being in capital intensive businesses. I had a board meeting today and we're talking about where we're going to invest another £1 million this year in all of our businesses, million plus. Is there a chance of high price tag profitable sales? Apple's a great business. Disney's a great business because you can spend £7,000 going on a cruise ship with them, or you can buy, just a DVD. The same with, you can buy iTunes, or you can go and buy a two, three, £4,000 Mac if you so wish to. Is there a chance of residual income? Great businesses have residual income. Disney have Disney Plus. Apple have Apple Music and Apple TV, so they've got regular income coming all the time. Is there margin in the business? Will people want to buy it should you wish to exit? The great thing about building a day nursery business, if you've got a profitable day nursery business that makes £250,000, there'll be a list of buyers. If you build a restaurant that makes £250,000, might be difficult still to find a buyer. So how much capital I need to scale up the business? I'm thinking about these things. Is there a need for the business? Always look for a business that has these 3 elements. They love the business, they want the business, they need the business. So your iPhone, people love their iPhone, they want their iPhone, they need their iPhone. That's a great thing. Most businesses only have 2 of the 3. So like I don't know, this, oh, God, go into a restaurant. They want to go to a restaurant. They love going to a restaurant. They don't need to go to a restaurant, so therefore it becomes discretionary. So there's some of the elements that I would look for in a business. Right, James. Hi, James. My God, I've got so many questions here. Hang on a sec. Hi, James. Has the current tough political and economic environment had an adverse impact on the Partyman group of businesses? No, but I think if you was in construction, I know people in the construction game in property, they've had a really tough time because people have been hanging on before they complete mortgages and stuff. For our business, we're days out. You know, it hasn't affected us, but I do know it has affected some segments. That's why I like my business, by the way. You know, whatever's happened in Brexit, people don't take their children out of day nurseries or come for days out or book their Father Christmas experience. Yeah, we're good. Um, Hi, James. Thanks for your great content. What's the advantage of renting from your own properties? Uh, e.g. nursery business. Then can you give me a bit more? I think you mean what's the advantage of buying a property and renting it back to yourself? If that is, can you just give me some clarification? I'll come back to that because I don't fully understand. Um, Eastern Europe, good place. I think that's in answer to there we go. Rajas, are you looking to invest in any tech businesses such as fintech, health tech, insure, prop tech? No, because it doesn't excite me. And I don't invest in any other businesses other than our own. People ask me all the time, hey, why don't you invest in some stocks or shares? It's not what I do. If I've got an extra 20, £30,000 around, I want to invest it within Partyman, within my own businesses. If I sold up, maybe that'd be different, but I would then invest in businesses that I understand. I don't understand tech businesses. It's not my natural go-to understanding, so I wouldn't do that. Uniforms, try Turkey. I think this is on importing. Yeah, I think you're right there. Um, my 7-year-old daughter wants to do something like that, but with cats. She wants to work for a Mars farm when she's old enough. How does she need to be? How old does she need to be? Once you've got your national insurance number, you can apply it, go through the interview process. Stephen R. Hi, James. I'm just starting out in property. I want to know if it's oversaturated or could it ever be serviced accommodation or buy to let? I don't do serviced accommodation, so I can't give any answers on that. I don't see property being saturated at the moment as long as you choose well populated towns and near train stations and you do a good job, people will always rent from you. David Taylor, hi James, what's your thought on having a separate accountant for property and one for general business? That is a bloody good question. That is a really good question from David Taylor. What is your thoughts on having a separate accountant for property and one for general business? That is just a fantastic question. My answer to that is have your regular accountant, but then always go and get them checked up on, and get a second opinion. I always like telling this little story. When I moved from Marsh Farm, I had a house here at Marsh Farm, and I moved to another farm that I'd bought down the road. The stamp duty was absolutely huge. And my solicitor at the time, and this is about professionals here, said that you need to pay the additional 3% stamp duty. And I said, well, I don't think I do. She went, but you're not disposing of your main residence, you're keeping it. And anyway, so I got an accountant to check this out. And he said, because it was a commercial property and that house was on a commercial property, I was still eligible for not paying the additional 3%. So I basically got him to write up chapter and verse for my solicitor. That saved me about 30 grand. And I always think, how many people don't get that second opinion and pay that extra couple of £100 for another accountant or another solicitor to look at something? And that was a big moment that saved us a lot of money there. So yeah, I was happy about that. So yeah, I do think you should get second opinions if you're on your accountants and stuff. I mean, the great news for us is I've got an FD now, so I've always got an accountant to ask stuff every single day. And then we have our standard accountants, but I also get my bank manager's opinion on stuff as well. He's so good. He's like having another member on the board. So yeah, I'm asking loads of different people. That's a fantastic question. Liam, would you start off as a sole trader before going limited from day one? With a limited company, car sales, I've got limited with property, rich dad, poor dad, to make things limited, but thanks in advance. Yeah, Liam, if you're planning on going to the next level and you're thinking with the end in mind, I would go straight in on a limited company. That's what I do, because if you're planning to build it bigger and do something bigger, you're going to need a limited company anyway. So start as you mean to go on. But that's just not me. Check your the accountant for that advice. Bouncy Ben TV, your Christmas experience is amazing. Where do you go next? Ideas, keeping it manageable. Do you cap the amount of people who can attend? We discuss it all the time. We can't get any more people into our Father Christmas experience, so we grow it by growing the price, and then hopefully we'll find another outdoor attraction one day and do it there. Did I miss your favourite books question? If so, which books helped you to grow and learn the most? Well, I'll get them for you. I'm just going to go over here. Some of my best favourite business books. Missing Richie B's one. This one here, Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. This is a great book. It's from the founder of Nike. This one, though, is the one that tells you nuts and bolts of how to build a great business, how to get rich. It's not, it's a business book, really. It's not like, this is wrote by a guy called Felix Dennis. When he died, he was worth about $500 million. There's a shorter version of it called 88 Narrow Road, which is like the abridged version of this. And then lastly, Richard Branson's Losing My Virginity, which is a great book on how to manage people. But this one, I thoroughly recommend that you read How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis. Both of these, all three of them, Richard Branson, Losing My Virginity. There is a YouTube video where if you search through the channel, you'll be able to find that, watch that, and I'll give like a proper detailed, in-depth review on that. So honestly, go and read them, listen to them. They're fantastic. How to Get Rich. I'm rereading the shortened version of this right now. If you guys are not if you go and check on Facebook, look for James Sinclair's Entrepreneurs Chat. It's a closed Facebook group. We'd love to have you in there. There's no selling in there from anyone or anyone, where we just discuss entrepreneurial stuff. People share ideas in there. It's a closed Facebook group. James Sinclair's Entrepreneurs Chat. Chuds is at the back of the room right now. I'm sure if you ask to be a member of there, because we can approve you, Chuds can do that right now. It's called James Sinclair's Entrepreneurs Chat. It's a closed Facebook group on Facebook. um, um, Morris Finance. Hi James, Connor Morris here. How you doing? I'm doing great. How you doing, Morris? Craig Ackerman. Hi James, trying to understand the advantage of commercial property over residential property. Given that there is a shortage of housing, whereas the average business doesn't survive the first year. Well, Craig, I mean, the first commercial property that you should always try and buy is the one that your business operates out of, and that is, what I thoroughly recommend. And you're right, loads of businesses do fail. So you could do commercial storage, easy in, easy out tenants. I mean, there's so much that I could go through on here. Raising wildlings, who asked me, why do people come to my seminars? Like, this is just too much for YouTube, whereas I discuss it in detail in one of my seminars, which is the Ultimate Property Profits Masterclass. Cam says, evening, James and Chudders. Hope everything's well. Non-property related question. What personally gets your head back? Oh, God, there's so many questions, got to tell you. What personally gets your head back in the game on a day where you're just not feeling it? What's your Kickstarter for motivation? Well, let me tell you now, there are times and I just get the ump when things are not going my way. I suppose the best thing is have a team that are just with you and around you. Investing in a team is just amazing for business owners because you can you bring each other up. And then one of these, a notebook. This notebook. You just get your dump it on paper. I mean, I put that in the chat group that I was talking about earlier on Sunday. I came into work and I just jotted everything down because my head was full and I could tell if I didn't write it down, I'm gonna start getting the ump about it. I suppose I really enjoy the chase of getting stuff. I get nervous getting stuff over the line, especially when you're borrowing money to get property deals over the line or buy a business. I really enjoy sort of getting the deal to the stage, then getting the bank to agree it all. And then once you get over that, then I get nervous on that last stage. And because I've got 3 or 4 of those at the moment, at that last stage, I'm like, come on, I need to get everything over the line. So that's good. Hey James, when you're this is Jack the Boiler Guy. Hey James, when you were up and coming back in the day, did you create an organisational chart that start with the end in mind, like they're talking the E-Myth, or was it more that you recruited? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I always thought with the end in mind. I think successful people naturally do think with the end in mind. You know, someone like Ronaldo, great sportsman, they just know what they want to achieve when they're finished. And, when you speak to someone that's very motivated to become a doctor or a vet, they know the end in mind. So they work out the stages to go through. People that struggle in education are the ones that actually don't know why they're there. So I think when you can come up with what your finish looks like, you're just going to, do so much better than a lot of people. Here we go. Awesome, thanks, James. Just going through the process myself, as my general one could not answer my questions um, related to property. Hoping to have an FD myself one day. Hey, talk about this guy, Felix Dennis, in 88 Narrow Road. He says one of the biggest things that you can do to accelerate your success is pay for an FD and the best financial advice that you can get before you can even afford it. And I think he's on the money. We will find the money to get operational stuff, but we'll think, my God, this person's going to be earning more than me. I mean, you get a great FD. I mean, my FD has managed to get this R&D thing over the line, research and development, which is a legal tax thing that. But I think we're going to get up to up to 750,000, a minimum of 400,000. I knew about this stuff, but having an FD, so they're free. They've reduced the amount we're paying our accountants. They're saying no. They get on your nerves. And Felix Dennis said this in 88 Narrow Road. He said, your FD, your financial advisor person, if they're full time and they're with you, they will get on your nerves, but they will find you so much more profit within, and you will start to respect them. And absolutely. It's when you read a book or something, that's why I probably like these books so much, is because they talk to you and you're like, yes, I know, I understand. And so I always tell people, get the best finance people around you as soon as you can, the best that you can afford. It's even worth going hungry and not paying yourself anything for 3 months, because if they're good, I really, really think that they'll be able to save you all that money and make you a better business, that hold you to account. Just brilliant. Um, what you saying? Did you release your books on Amazon first or had them printed? Amazon print on demand. So, but we're not getting customers ourselves yet. We're letting Amazon have it for another couple of months, and then we'll sell them ourselves on the jamessinclair.net website, where you can get the other two. I found you on the Mike Winnet podcast, and I'm intrigued how you know so much. Is it a mixed experience or just heads down in the books learning? How I know so much? It's because I've been doing this since I was bloody 15 years old. I don't feel like I know enough. Um, when you employ over 400 people and when you generate millions of pounds worth of sales, whether you make any money or not, you bloody learn a lot very quickly. And I mean, I always say to people, yeah, I read loads of books, and I listen to podcasts. I've been to tons of seminars from other people that have helped me greatly. I've continued investing in my education as a business owner, but doing the do is what really teaches you. Once you do one deal, two deals, three deals, four deals, the way that I can structure how to buy a company, you know, I end up telling accountants and solicitors how we're doing the structure. I suppose that David Taylor asked me about one thing you've got to remember about accountants and solicitors. Usually, they are not super successful people. Business owners and entrepreneurs are. They're the risk takers. I mean, accountants and solicitors see things go wrong and risk every day. So they naturally become very risk adverse. So you need to make sure that you're taking a decent amount of advice from an accountant solicitor, but also a super successful entrepreneur that knows how to get deals in place, and has experience. And one of the phrases that someone says to me, well, how are you going to do this? When it all seems impossible, I always say, well, there's many ways to skin a cat, and I've worked out most of them. And I think experience really helps you. So yes, I continue learning, investing myself, do stuff, go to seminars, read books, reread books. I read lots of newspapers, tons of the Times, the Financial Times. I learned tons from that. I listen to LBC, learn tons from that. I listen to podcasts, learn tons from that. But I've got a great team around me, and I'm doing the do. So that's how it is. Um, that's a lovely comment, by the way. Thank you very much for that. Do you have each business as separate entities and controlled by a holding company? Separate companies, yes. We've got 9 companies, but we haven't got a holding company as such. We've got one that holds just some shares, Partyman Group Limited, that doesn't do any trade. Oh, this is great. This one, Chuds, you're going to love this question. Raising wildlings. How well do you and Chudders get on? That's a true question. Are you looking at it?
Yeah.
Chuds, come on screen. Tell everyone. Come on. We get on. I mean, I'm not just saying this. We sit next to each other at work.
Here he is.
We travel together. We literally. I mean,
I still can't believe that we've not had an argument yet. And that sounds very romantic, but
it's so weird.
It's so cool. That's what it is. Just can't help it.
But I get, and I think all of our senior team that work in the room behind here, like everyone gets on really well.
No one argues ever, do they? Yeah.
It's a really. I mean, I think it's because we haven't got more than 12 people in our senior team. When you go over 12, that's when all the bloody problems start.
Yeah, there's just enough of us where if we do disagree, we can just talk it out amongst us instead of it getting political.
So yeah, we get on really well. We literally love each other to bits. I mean, outside here, I call him he's like my son. I'm only 10 years 11 years older than him, but I care about him and I want him to do spectacularly well. He's a very smart guy. And we share lots of stuff together. We've been away together. We've been to Las Vegas together. We've done tons of stuff. So yeah, and my little boy Harvey loves him. Nat's my fiance loves him. It's great. It's fantastic. But it's a great question. Oh my word! Here we go. How many nurseries do you have, and do you intend to expand further? Yeah, we're just opening our sixth. We're going to open our Cambridge nursery, our Braintree nursery, and hopefully an Eastbourne nursery this year. We've already started works on Cambridge. We're really far on that. We're just waiting for Ipswich to turn up and sign off. We're waiting for Ofsted to turn up and sign off Ipswich. I love day nurseries, but I wouldn't. I'm not keen on standalone day nurseries. When you start a day nursery, they lose lots of money in them opening months. You have to cash flow them while you're waiting for children to come in, and you have to staff it up because of the Ofsted regulations. That really don't sit well with me. So I'm not gonna. I mean, we might buy a chain of day nurseries if we can find some really good management that we could buy in to improve our businesses. But yeah, there we go. James, when is your next event at your head office in Marsh Farm? They're all on the jamessinclair.net website. The next one is the Business Growth Seminar, which I believe, Chance, is the 6th of February, isn't it?
Yeah.
6th of February. And then we've got the Property Profits Masterclass on the 7th and 8th. And then we've got Entrepreneurs Masterclass, which is the Big Daddy May. So if you'd like any info on that, just drop us a line at james.burt@jamessinclair.net and he will let you know the details. You seem very finite minded. Isn't it better to have an infinite mind? How do I answer that? Give me a bit more context to that, because I want to answer that. Give me an example, and I'll try my best to answer that. Raising wildlings, raising wildlings. You are our little commenter, aren't you? I love you. He asked me questions that really open my mind. I love that, but I want a bit more detail to the question. I'll answer it. Johnny Pratt, how do you recommend getting started in commercial property? Just concerned with the recession around the corner. Commercial always gets slammed. Johnny, my answer is make sure you have a business first, property second, and then the commercial property you buy first of all should be where your business operates out of. So if you're a solicitor's, make sure you buy the office that your solicitors operates out of. If you're a doctor, buy you get the point. If you're a day nursery, buy the property the day nursery operates out of. Yeah, I'm not going to tell people to go and buy commercial property to rent out unless you de-risk it by turning it into lots of little units like I do. We've got How President Trump here. Trump 2020, keep America great. I'm not going to answer any of that. Johnny Pratt, thanks for all the share. What are some of the best podcasts you listen to? The James Sinclair podcast show, definitely the best up there. What's some of the best podcasts? Gary V, Grant Cardone, they do some great podcasts on entrepreneurship. Go and check them out. James and Mike Chudlington are blood brothers. There we go. Also, Mike has been with James literally from the start. He has been from the start of my video journey, 3 years now. Some great questions tonight, guys. Oh, look, Mike's getting in there. I pay my accountant every month and I don't hear from him. What should be communicating with me at all? Yeah, sort that out. What's the point? Excellent content as always, guys. How to balance work and personal life and one have a negative impact on the other. Hey, Darren, this is really interesting. I'm a workaholic. I live to work. I mean, other people work to live. I think about this often. Like, when's enough ever enough for me? I just want to do more and more and more, grow and grow and do and do. Not because I want to be having loads of riches around me. It's because it's who I am. It's in my DNA. I like building and creating things. I only really do property so I can build and create more businesses. I use all the security from my property to go and do more stuff, employ more people. It's just, who I am. Invalid ID says, hello, fatty boom boom. I mean, we're starting to get some negatives here. Excellent content. Thoughts on having a mentor, mate? David Stubbs. having a mentor, you should definitely find it's paid or unpaid for. Try and find loads of mentors that are successful business owners that you can just have a chat with a few times a year to chew the fat. Great. That's very different to a coach. You know, my bank manager is my mentor. Other business owners are my mentors. I've got loads of mentors that I talk to and I share stuff with. I think it's really, really important. What's your thoughts on cryptocurrency? I don't do cryptocurrency. I don't do Ethereum or whatever it is. I know nothing about it, so therefore I comment zero on it because I don't understand it, and therefore I'm not the best person to ask. So sorry about that. When is the next instalment of the £1 million property challenge? So appreciate you sharing the reality vs the hype. Yeah, we're working on that, guys. But the next one's going to be building a business from scratch. And we're looking at that right now. Simon Sinek talks about it. Check it out. Finite is restricted vision, and infinite is not putting any boundaries on your vision. I don't. I just know what I want. I know what the business that what I want to get to. Once I get there, then I'll think bigger. Because I've got so many things that I want to do. And get them done. Such good questions from that Raising Wildlings. Would you ever try to get on Dragon's Den? I'd love to be a dragon on Dragon's Den. That was one of my big aims in life. I'd love, love, love to be sitting in there and investing in entrepreneurs in that way. But I'd have to finish Party Man, sell up my businesses so that I could actually go and help people. Because right now, all my time that I have free is I want to invest my time in our own companies, not in others. But yeah, I think it's I'd love to do that as I get older. Also, Matt agreed. Where would you think the best place is to find them? LinkedIn, networking. What do you offer them as a young entrepreneur? Exchange their time, your knowledge. Yeah, Dave Stubbs. No, I think if you're within a certain sector, say you owned a pub, I would find an amazing pub in another area and write them a letter and say, look, I own a pub. I'd just love to come and have a chat with you and see if you can help me grow my business. I'm paying you for it, but I really would like some help. I'm just so amazed by your business. And you would send them a letter through the post. And I think, if you sent 20 letters, someone will say, yeah, I'll help you. Because usually successful people like helping other people that want to climb up the ladder, that have that true entrepreneurial DNA. So I'd go and look for them. Michael Habble, thank you for doing this, James. Great content. After Das, Mrs. H is calling for dinner. Love your enthusiasm. Well, thank you very much, mate. Sod it. Told her 10 more minutes. That's great. That is great. I think what's the difference between a coach and a mentor? Oh, here's a good one. James Bryan. So what's the difference between a coach and a mentor? A coach is someone that's going to make you do it. That's in my opinion. A mentor is someone that's been there, done it, and got the T-shirt, so they can tell you exactly what they've done. A coach is, making sure you do what you say you're going to do. They're the two differences, and lots of people need both. How's it going, man? Let's have a look. Here we go. Excellent content as always. Thanks, Mike. How do you recommend getting started? Yeah. Well, I think I'm done now, guys. I think everyone said something. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. We'll be back again next month. We'll do another Q&A where you can ask me your questions to help grow your business. We're starting out with a brand new YouTube series that's coming out. I think the first episode comes out on Thursday, and it's called, what's it called, Chud? Building the Business. So Chuds has been following my every movement for the last couple of weeks, and we're going to, last week, introduce this, and you'll be seeing what I do to actually build our business. That comes out. So there's a much more vloggy. Those of you that are new, old school to the YouTube channel, we used to bring out a show called Backstage Business. So it's a sort of a relaunch for that. But rather than bringing it out 3 times a week like we used to, we're just bringing it out once a week, aren't we? Every Thursday, and then we'll do our direct teaching content stuff on a Tuesday. Can you do more live Q&As? James, join the James Sinclair Entrepreneurs Chat on Facebook. I do loads of like walking the dogs, chats in there. I also follow me on Instagram, _ James Sinclair. I do loads of lives on that. But the Facebook group, James Sinclair Entrepreneurs Chat, and then the public group, James Sinclair Entrepreneurs Network, I do stuff on there as well. Thanks, James. Awesome live. Thank you, David Taylor. Leon Glum, By Getting Customers, great read so far. Hi, James. How would you recommend scaling a 6 to 7 figure online business when you think you are doing everything you can, including FB ads, SEO, email marketing? I don't know what your business is. If you was a business where you could consider doing some offline stuff to grow your business, maybe some telemarketing, but you got to make sure you got the lifetime value for that to work. Who's your favorite entrepreneur? Yeah, probably Richard Branson. I learned a lot from him about how to manage people. I quite like Theo Pathetis because he buys old businesses and makes them great. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, I've got an itchy nose. Someone just said, you just want to pick your nose because bloody nose is itching. By Getting Customers, great read so far. Thank you. Leon Goodman. Sorry, hi, James. Got another one. I'm thinking about using my pension to accelerate property growth. Do you have any thoughts? I don't really want to give tax advice on that sort of stuff. On YouTube. All I can say is I love property. I think it's a great thing to do. It provides lots of income for you, and you can always leverage off it against it for your business. Seek independent financial advice. Okay, gang, that's it. One more then. Will you ever do a series about buying a business rather than starting a new one? Yeah, one of the challenges will probably be about buying a business, a leisure business that we're looking at the moment. David said, what's the most creative solution to a big problem you face at Marsh Farm? I think I remember you had one around the nursery and figuring out how to increase average lifetime value. We've had so many, funding, being 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 short on a project. We've had all of that. It all comes good in the end as long as you market and continue to get customers. I'll answer that, David Stubbs, on the next YouTube live in detail. Oh God, there's just one more question. I will answer this. We'll try and teach your son about business and entrepreneurship. I will try and teach my son, but only if he wants to. If my son wants to be a social worker, if my son just wants to be a teacher, that's not just, I shouldn't have said that. I'll be so amazing because we need different people in the world to make the world go round. So if my son Harvey or my next child that's on the way has a real love for business and entrepreneurship, my God, I'll teach them everything I know and help them till the nth degree, but only if they want to and they have the heart and the mindset to do it. If they don't, then I won't expect that of them. I have no expectations of my children taking over this business or any businesses or anything that I do. I'm happy for them to be shareholders and owners, but I will only allow them to run it, manage it, and lead it should they want to. I have no expectations of my children having anything to do with this business unless they want to. And I think there are so many family businesses, especially in the farming community, that expect their children to take on their business. Some people just want to go and work for someone, and they want to work to live. Not everyone wants to live to work. And I think that was a great question to end this on. Maybe we should talk about that more in some videos, Chad, because I think that's a real powerful thing. Okay, guys. See you real soon. To your continued success. Check out the new video, 7 o'clock this Thursday on the James Sinclair YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, press the notification bell, and please tell the world about what we're doing, because we really do believe we help business owners grow their business. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.